Hello, dear friends. You are watching the weekly horoscope for January 13th through the 19th. This week, we have some important conjunctions between the Sun, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn. Such serious combinations. We have to be very strict. We have to be very strong during this week, and we can get some important things done during the month. Also, there are two ingressions. Venus is moving to Pisces, which is the exalted position for Venus, and it can bring more romantic atmosphere, more sensitivity, more creativity, which of course is great news. And Mercury is also moving to its exalted position in Aquarius. So new ideas, excitement, original approach, socializing with other people. Overall, the week can bring some significant shifts. So now let's dive deep into each day and prepare you for the following week. We begin with Monday, and actually one of the most important events are happening at this very beginning of the week. First of all, the Sun is joining Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. The Sun with Saturn requires more discipline, more organization, to keep our promises, to do the right things, to work extra hard for achieving our goals. This might create also some kind of discomfort, so we have to mention that as well. We may have the feeling like we have to do so many things. It could get overwhelming sometimes. And here it's important to realize our own choices, to realize that sometimes we are putting the boundaries or the restrictions in front of ourselves. And for self-work, this can be quite important. But from the practical perspective, this aspect can really allow you to materialize important things, to be very organized, to follow through, and eventually to get where you want to get. The Capricorn energy is about structure, it's about business, it's about authority figures, and obviously those themes can be very important during the week, especially on Monday. You may take some drastic and extremely important decisions when it comes to your business. The conjunction between the Sun and Pluto also can bring lots of empowerment and passion and extreme focus on something. Such a strong focus, like it's almost an obsession about something. It really depends on how you use it. It might be the type of obsession which is not letting you sleep and honestly can be destroying things, but it's also possible to use it in the positive way, to focus on something meaningful, something empowering, something transformative, whether it's your business or your personal life or any other area that can be important. And both of those aspects happening together, so Saturn and Pluto so close to each other, and the Sun bringing its light to this close connection, it's a very rare combination, honestly, very, very rare. And it's time to get really serious about things. It's not about, well, relaxing, letting things come and go and just, let life move around you. It's not the right approach. If that's your position, then it might feel really discomfortable, because Saturn and Pluto are about power. And if you don't use this power constructively, you might feel like life is pushing you, or other people are taking advantage or are manipulating, controlling you. So it's time for some changes if that's the case. And this empowering energy can really allow you to change yourself internally. That's all, like all changes happen. If you want certain area to change, first you have to change yourself and your approach towards to this area. In this case, of course, the major topic is about structure, business, and discipline, But it's also interesting where this conjunction falls in your chart, because it might trigger other areas as well. One of the possible challenges of this position can be also some kind of fears, something which you feel you cannot control, something which you're not really able to see. And it's all about focus. Just redirect your focus to the things that you can control, to the things that you can do, and dig deep in that direction. Very, very empowering, very important week. Also on Monday, Venus, the planet of love, moves to Pisces. The exalted position of Pisces for Venus makes the energies very romantic, very sensitive. But sometimes the challenge here is that we can lose our focus. So make sure that you know what you really want personally, in relationships, all kinds of desires when it comes to creativity. But overall, you may find that you enjoy more softness, more politeness. Generally, people tend to be more gentle when Venus is in a strong position, especially in Pisces. It's a very tender sign. So this can be a great position for artists, for creative people, for more love, and just for a more positive emotional atmosphere during the following weeks. And the last thing for Monday, the position of the moon, which will be in Virgo. Focus on work, on business, on important stuff. It's interesting that actually when the moon is in Virgo, it's trining the Sun, Saturn, Pluto conjunction. So Monday, it's a very serious, very productive day for work and business planning, and I highly recommend you to take advantage of it. Then on Tuesday, the moon is still in the Virgo, which means focus on details, work, responsibilities, being precise and organized. But this time, Mars in Sagittarius will have a minor challenging aspect with Pluto in Capricorn. And this can create some kind of lack of balance when it comes to how we use our energy, some kind of frustration, possible anger issues, but eventually it can motivate us to take some empowered actions and to change something. So even though there might be kind of a lack of harmony or lack of balance, if you need to take some empowered actions, the day can be productive as well. And on Wednesday, again, Mars in Sagittarius with a minor challenging aspect, but this time with Saturn in Capricorn. See, it's just that Saturn and Pluto are so close to each other that once a planet makes an aspect with either Saturn or Pluto, soon after that it makes the aspect with the other planet. So it's kind of repeating the same scenario, but this time it can feel also like some kind of restriction. We have to overcome some kind of challenge, something we need to fight for. So it's not always easy. And you have to be consistent. You have to work harder for the things you want to achieve. But at the same time, on Wednesday, there is a positive communication and connection between Venus in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus. And emotionally, when it comes to relationships, the aspect can be very exciting. Some positive surprises, some inspiration. For creativity, it's an amazing combination, by the way. And even for new dates or going out with an exciting person, or just, changing something emotionally. Very, very interesting aspect. The moon will be in Virgo. We kind of said that, but only until 11 a.m. So early morning, the moon is in Virgo. If you have to work on something, be very precise and so on, the morning can be very productive. And around 11 a.m., the moon will shift into Libra, which is a very nice position for love, for dates, for communicating, negotiating with people. So overall, Wednesday is great for dates, for personal life things, and just focusing more on the balance and the harmony in your life. Thursday comes with the ingression of Mercury in Aquarius. Mercury in Aquarius is considered to be very strong. It's exalted there, and it allows us, first of all, to open up a little bit. Before that, Mercury was in Capricorn for a couple of weeks, and it's not a bad position for Mercury to be in Capricorn, especially when it comes to planning, organizing, work. It's a very positive one, but there is some kind of closeness, you know. People are not that open to sharing, to experimenting. There are some kind of boundaries. When Mercury moves to Aquarius, we can be more open-minded, ready to experiment, to get outside of the box, or to express ourselves more in front of other people. And for all kinds of community work, communication with friends, doing something socially, this position of Mercury is very supportive. And even for some kind of original ideas, Mercury in Aquarius really supports that. On Thursday as well, Uranus is gonna have a very interesting creative aspect, biquintile with Mars in Sagittarius. This aspect can bring us some variety, some shifts, some choices that we can make. So overall, we can say that on Thursday, the Uranus Aquarius energies are very strong. It means time to change things, to experiment. There can be excitement, but also certain level of instability and, okay, so what's happening? And you know, it's like you cannot imagine what the final outcome would be. It's exciting, really, but it's also unpredictable. And the moon will be in Libra during the whole day, actually. Focus on relationships, on communication. Usually things are balanced. The atmosphere is harmonious when the moon is in Libra. So it kind of, you know, balances a little bit the other Aquarius Uranus energies. But overall, the theme for Thursday is excitement, variety, and changes. Friday comes also with an interesting aspect between Mercury in Aquarius and Neptune in Pisces. Minor challenging aspect, which potentially can bring some kind of confusion, potential mistakes we can make, things that we can forget, or some messy situations. But from the positive side, it can also be very inspirational, even though we are somewhere else, like, you know, our mind is flying in the clouds. We are not so grounded, but it can still be something valuable which we can achieve through inspiration and creativity, and most importantly, visualization. Neptune with Mercury, it's about visualizing what you want to achieve, your plans and your goals. The moon on Friday is in Libra approximately during the first half of the day, which puts the focus on relationships, on balance, on harmony and communication. But around 1 p.m., the moon will move to Scorpio. So the atmosphere will get much more intense, possibly dramatic sometimes. And generally, there could be some kind of tension. So be more careful during the second half of the day. And just remember that even if things look more dramatic, it will pass. If I have to be honest, each month when the moon is in Scorpio, I feel a lot this intensity and this tendency to dramatize things. And every time it happens, I just check, okay, the moon is in Scorpio, it's normal, it will pass. So just reminding yourself that this is temporary, that it's kind of normal. You're not crazy, it's just that there is more tension around us. Accept it, let it go, and it will pass like always does. Saturday is also a day we can experience serious tension. Actually, this is the most challenging day during the whole week because, first of all, Mercury will have a square with Uranus, major challenging aspect, which can make us, first of all, the nervous system is more sensitive. People react strangely, unpredictably. There are some surprises. Potentially, it could be shocking. Potentially, it could be, you know, kind of very uncomfortable for us. But this is also a time when we can make drastic changes. Change of our plans, trying new things, experimenting, being very different, you know, to have the courage to think and to express yourself differently than others. So it's not always something bad, but it definitely requires more effort. So as long as you are ready to put the efforts, it could be also interesting and productive. The moon in Scorpio adds even more tension to this Uranus intensity and the possible drama or exaggeration. But from the other side, it can help us to transform something. So if you're ready for some kind of spiritual practice, meditation, energy shift, this combination can be very, very supportive. And finally, on Sunday, we have a minor positive aspect between Mars in Sagittarius and Jupiter in Capricorn. Supportive aspect which can help us to be more ambitious, to achieve something, to get something we want, to do something that we want, to be positive about the outcome of our efforts and that we can really get what we want. This aspect can really help us also to be more competitive, to fight for the things that we want, to work for the things that we want, and generally to enjoy taking action. Also, the moon is in Scorpio, but until 6 p.m. Eastern time, which makes the day intense and kind of dramatic in some way. But this can also be intense focus on something we want to, working on something, passionately focusing and devoting your time. And after 6 p.m., the moon will ingress Sagittarius, so there will be relief. I'm happy that this is actually the way we would finish the week with a positive note. The moon ingressing Sagittarius always brings the optimism, the positive atmosphere, the different mindset. So it's getting easier around the very end of the week. And with that, we covered the most important events. As you can see, the week is quite intense and serious. Of course, the most important is the conjunction between the Sun, Saturn, and Pluto. Very serious, very empowering combination, which can help you to do some serious work. Venus and Mercury ingressing into their exalted positions. So relationships, communication, they can move to another level. There are lots of shifts happening through the week, and I'm excited for those changes. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know how do you feel with those energies, Saturn, Pluto thing, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you very soon.